Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Comstock channel. I'm Marlon Bowling with you. So glad to have you on board. As always, be sure to like this video and be sure to subscribe and share this video with others to help spread the word. Well, we're glad to have you on board, and I'm glad to welcome aboard this time Tracy Keninger. She is from Iowa. She works with Easterseals Iowa. And Tracy, you actually have kind of a long title as far as your official role there. Maybe you can explain what you do there at Easterseals, and then we'll talk about why that is important to our agricultural audience.
Yeah, Marlon, I work with individuals with disabilities and their families here at Easterseals, and the Rural Solutions Program and the Assistive Technology Program that I work with most closely supports Iowa farm family members to continue to farm after acquiring a disability.
All right, well, let's talk about this. Disabilities, that's nothing new to farmers. Farming is a hazardous business. It's a risky business. Lots of physical injuries. I've known lots of people over the years, even in my own family, that have had severe injuries related to farming. But, nowadays there's high stress levels too. I just wondered, from that perspective, does that qualify as something where you can offer some help too?
Yeah, really, any type of limitation or self-identified disability qualifies a person to have access to our free services for farmers and farm family members with disabilities. And probably of no surprise, we often have people with what we would call a dual diagnosis. They might have perhaps a physical disability along with a brain health or a mental health concern. And then, as you can imagine, just the strain, the stress it creates on a farm family operation once a person acquires a disability, and really adjusting to their new way of life can create some mental health concerns as well.
Absolutely. I'm glad you put it that way, because it's stressful not just for the individual, but for those around them too. And that can involve a lot of things. So let's walk through this a little bit. What kind of help can you offer a farm family that is going through a tough time right now?
So really, we try to make the process as simple and easy and streamlined as possible, recognizing that most generally, farmers are not the first person to raise their hand to say, I could use some help. So it really is either themselves, or it could be a neighbor, it could be anybody really who just reaches out to us, provides us with a person's contact information, and within 24 hours, we will be in touch with that individual by phone, hoping to give them some hope, right? That we're here, our services is free. And at that time, we will visit with the farmer, the farm family member, identify what are some needs that they have, and find a time that we can come out and visit with them on the farm.
That's very nice to know that you offer services like that. What's involved in trying to get all the mechanics in motion here to get some help to a farm family that needs it? What would be the first steps beyond just an initial contact?
So really that initial contact will be us visiting with them, assuming they are on the farm. Sometimes they are still hospitalized, and if that's the case, that's where we will go visit with them. And it's really, first of all, helping them to get to know us and us getting to know them. Sometimes they are in a position to say, yep, I know exactly what I need. I'm having difficulty climbing my grain bin or getting in and out of this tractor. And sometimes the disability is so new to them, they don't even know what they need. So at that time, really our support is psychological, it's giving them hope, it's sharing with them. We have supported thousands of Iowa farmers to continue to do what they love. And we too will be right here, right by your side, to help you in this rehabilitation journey to return to farming.
So I take it this is more than just an attaboy and a slap on the shoulder and you got this. Is this more in the order of financial help? Do you offer physical help out there on the farm where people can go in and help them with their duties, or how do you do that?
Yeah, so this would be more ways in which we can help them to continue to be actively engaged in the farming operation. So we don't actually pay for modifications or devices. We don't do labor on the farm, but if that is a need of theirs, we can connect them to the resources that do that. but it would be more so, for example, if you are now living life from a wheelchair, how can you now get up into the cab of your tractor? How can you get access to your livestock? How can you get in and out of your house, in and out of the bathtub? Really looking at modifications, adjustments to your new way of living with a disability.
So you would help them with the design of something to help them accomplish that?
That is correct. More the design ideas. What have other farmers used? What else can come up with that will meet their unique needs? And in cases where funding is needed, we can help them to locate funding. We are just not the funder of those resources.
So I wondered what kind of programs are available in situations like this. Is there government money available? Are there private entities that offer assistance with a deal like this?
There are both private foundations that do offer assistance, most often based on the cause of your disability. So, for example, there are some foundations that support people who acquired their disability as a result of a spinal cord injury, or if you have MS, there might be a particular funding source, but also there is a state agency called Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services that we work with the farmer to explore what supports they can provide, which can include on occasion some funding support for these devices. But Marlon, farmers don't usually fit just in those silos of most of these agencies, right? So part of our job is really helping them to navigate through this process, helping them to know what farming is all about. Many people don't have any experience with farming, and so we're really at Easterseals that conduit between exploring and working with those other agencies and the individual with a disability.
Without naming names, can you run through maybe a couple success stories of how you have helped some farmers and farm families get back on their feet again?
Yeah, I absolutely can. The first person that comes to mind is an individual that I got to talk to this morning. And Caleb acquired his above knee leg amputation as a result of a farm related incident with the combine that did not go quite so well. And he was 14 when his injury occurred. And I happened to be the fortunate team member who got to meet with his family and sit around the kitchen table. And Caleb was maybe part of the meeting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, really short amount of time. So most of my time was really spent with the parents, giving them hope. It's possible for him to continue to do what he loves. His mom said the first question out of his mouth was, "Can I still farm?" At 14, right? So now Caleb is in his mid-30s. He's married, he has a family, and he's very much a part of the farming operation. So we met him at a young age. Really, most of our interaction was with his parents. And for him, some of the greatest things were coming up with accommodations because, as you know, the farms are just uneven, they're muddy, they're rocky, and being unstable with one prosthetic device just was not safe for him. So finding an all-terrain vehicle that really can be his legs around the farm that was modified to help him have less direct contact with the livestock. And then, most prosthetic devices aren't designed for farmers. They're designed for people who might sit at a desk. And so it was working with his prosthetist to really make it heavy duty and add some different components to it. And, to think of this 14-year-old young man who all his life has wanted to be part of the farm, and to know that we were a small piece of that. And now as an adult with his own family, he still is continuing to farm and really fulfill his dream.
Yeah, even, well, speaking from personal experience in my own family, the family farm I used to live on is now run and operated by my nephew, who happened to have a farm accident and lost his left arm in an auger accident.
Yeah.
He was under 20 years old.
Yeah.
And same thing. He went on and got married, had a family, adorable family, and he's been farming ever since. He's been doing that for decades now and very successful at it too, I might add. And he can do things that I couldn't do when I had all my faculties. So anyway, I've been overly impressed with what he can do. And so it is just a matter of knowing how to do it. He had some other people from the area that had similar cases that happened to them, and they offered him assistance and some encouragement and training on how to do certain things a certain way. And he didn't realize he could do it that way, and it worked out, and he's been a big success. He didn't let it slow him down one bit. So, I have to credit folks like you in other agencies that do similar work for really providing a valuable service. And I would imagine that now you're with the Easterseals Iowa, but I would imagine you have similar agencies in other states around the country too, right?
We do, Marlon. There's, I think, about 30 states now that have programs that are similar to the Easterseals Rural Solutions program. Many of them, although not all of them, are connected through the USDA Agribility program. And that's a great location to go to the Agribility website to know if your state has a program. And if not, there is a national entity that can provide those supports if your state by chance doesn't have a respective program like ours in Iowa.
All right. Is there a website where we can direct people to go or a phone number that they can contact if they want more information about this, or maybe a way that they can stir some people to that they would like to offer some help to?
Yeah, so at Iowa, we've been around since 1986, so we're pretty familiar with the other programs. So you can feel free to reach out to us, and we can get you connected, really do a warm handoff to our colleagues in other states across the country.
Tracy, that's awesome. Keep up the good work, and thanks for telling your story. I hope some people out there watching or listening can actually take advantage of that and help their loved ones out as well. Tracy Keninger with us from Easterseals, Iowa. And I hope you enjoyed this and share the story with someone you know as well. That'll do it for this episode. For producer Brianne Hendrickson, I'm Marlon Bowling. Catch you next time on the Comstock Channel. Thanks for joining us on our Comstock YouTube channel. Don't forget you can also find us on Facebook and TikTok as well.